Hey guys, Nikki Wood here with Apothecary 11, and today's topic is going to be about tarot reading and what happens if somebody does not want to know. Now, I'm doing this video because I've been traveling recently, and when I travel, I like to talk to people. I just think they're interesting. I like to hear what people have to say, their opinions, their life stories. I always learn something new and interesting when I'm having a conversation. So when you do have conversations, though, a lot of times you say, oh, well, what do you do? And so when people find out that I'm a professional tarot card reader, I get one of two responses. The first response is that people are very interested and excited. They're like, oh, that's so cool. And they want to ask questions and they engage, and it's really great. Now, the other response that I traditionally get is, well, I don't want to know. Well, here's the thing. I'm not just going to go around and give out free readings or tell people things without their permission. That's not what I do, and that's not how I work. Maybe that's how some other people are, but that's not me. So the thing that happens when they say, well, I don't want to know. So there's a couple different things that can happen. Sometimes people are really uncomfortable or afraid of things that they don't understand. So for me, it's really important to educate people and figure out why they're feeling resistant or why they're uncomfortable, just in case they have any, misconceived or preconceived notions that are untrue. And if they still don't want to get a reading or they're not interested, that's fine, but I want to make sure you know why you don't want to get one instead of just being like, oh, I don't like that. So when I was asking people, this is a response I had gotten several times while I was away, and it just kept happening and happening so many times in like this 48-hour period. So I thought it would be a good time to do a video on it and talk about it and just educate everybody a little bit. So one of the reasons why people don't want to know, and this is something that I asked the people that I had some resistance from, they said, well, I don't want to know if something bad is going to happen to me, which seems fair and seems reasonable. But what my explanation was is that if you see something in your cards that you don't like, it's perfectly okay. And this is something that I tell my clients a lot too, if someone hasn't gotten a reading before or they haven't gotten a reading from me, because I never want you to get a tarot reading and look at something that you see and be so horrified or so upset and just thinking that it's stuck and that's the way it's going to be. Because my very first tarot reading that I got, that's what happened to me. And it was really horrible and it was really upsetting. And you know what? It wasn't true. I made some changes to make sure that those things didn't happen to me. And fortunately, I got a better reading after that that helped me realize and understand those concepts and principles. So I would say to you, you have free will to change whatever you want, to manifest your own destiny. Now, the thing is sometimes these things happen anyway. And why do they happen anyway? It's because sometimes our free will is being really tested. Now, the example that I give is that if you are on a strict diet, and you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to be healthy, and let's say you go to a place like Soup Plantation and they have everything. They have all the healthy salad bar and all the veggies and everything that you can put on, and then they have kind of decadent soups, and then they have all this bread and they have pizza and like all these other things that are maybe not the most healthy. So you walk in there and it's really difficult to just get the salad, but you can do it. You might want the pizza or the bread or the other things, but you don't have to do that. I think just the feeling that people get when they're intuitively pulled to do something, it's like, I want the pizza. I want the pizza for lunch. That's all I want. And it's kind of like your willpower. It's sort of like your free will. You have to fight to, eat the salad and be like, I'm going to be healthy and I'm not going to have it. You can do it, and it's hard. It's not impossible, but it is a little bit of a struggle. And that's the same thing that I tell people when they see something in the cards. You kind of feel instinctually like pulled or motivated to do certain things, but just because you do doesn't mean that you cannot kind of motivate yourself or pull yourself out of it. It just takes some inner strength and some inner reserves to do that. So if you see something you don't like, don't freak out. Know that you have the power to change it. It might be a little bit challenging or a little bit difficult, but it is not impossible. Now, sometimes the other thing that you can do is if you see something you don't like, I'm all about problem solving. I don't ever want you to leave a reading with me feeling like just dejected or heartbroken or upset. If you are a little uncomfortable because I told you some things that are, kind of true that you haven't been acknowledging or that you need to work on that are kind of just uncomfortable or difficult for you to deal with, I'm okay with that because I want you to be on a path for your highest and your best good at all times. And sometimes we like to dig our head in the sands a little bit, me included, because we don't want to take a look at what's really happening. So if I've made you aware of things that are important for you to be aware of, I'm never going to be upset about that. But I am going to be really upset if you go home feeling really upset and dejected and just disappointed by your life because of the reading that you got. So for me, I like to tell people, hey, you know what? Like, you don't like this, that's what's going on? Let's throw some more cards. Let's find out why it's going on. Let's find out what lesson you need to learn here. Let's figure out the best way to deal with this. These are all spreads that you can do around questions or issues that people are not, when they're not liking what they're seeing. So as a reader, this is really important for you to know that you have these options to really empower people and make them feel better about the situation that they're in. If you are somebody who is getting a reading and you don't know how it works, ask the reader those questions. It's important, and it might give you, some more better feedback. It might make me feel more confident or happy if you have to go through a situation that you're not sure if you'd be able to free will yourself out of. So I never want people to be afraid of things, and that's really upsetting to me when I hear that, or when I hear people that have gotten readings where they've been told things that are not good, or when they have had readers try to make decisions for them. That's never your job as a reader. Your job is to give the information so that people can make the best decisions for themselves. I never want to decide for you. It's not my life, it's your life. You know what's best for you. I just kind of help you make sense of what's going on around you so that you can make the best decision for yourself. Now, the other thing that I will say before I sign off here on this topic that is important is when I first started, I did a lot of readings on donations because I needed practice and I was learning. And so I also needed the validation, which is also important if you were learning. So I used to do readings for one of my assistants when I used to work in the corporate world. And she thought it was great that I did readings. So every morning, we'd take a little break and we'd do a quick little reading, before we started our day. And one of the things that she would always ask about was she would always ask about the relationship that she had with her boyfriend. And she always wanted to know like what was going on and what was happening and why this was happening and what to do, all the typical questions that one might ask. But she said, I want to get a reading, but I just don't want to know if we break up. And I said, you know what? I said, I can do that. If I see that, then I'll just go around that. And then we can talk about all of the other things that are important that you do want to know about. So that is another option if you're in a reading. You can say, I want to know all this, but I don't want to know this one detail. If you see this one detail, please don't tell me. And that's perfectly okay. I'm never offended as a reader if somebody says that. I just want to help you in the best way that I can to help you make sense of things and make good choices for yourself. Now, I will let you know just that I actually did see this happen when I was reading her cards, and they did break up. I saw it happening. So instead of saying, oh my God, you're breaking up or whatever's happening here, I said, be careful. I said, be careful because you're going to have a disagreement and it's going to be a bad one. Be careful how you react to things. And then I just gave her some more details around that situation. So I was still trying to help her without giving her the information that she said that she did not want to know. So as a reader, this is another way to kind of go around situations and still help people with what you can do without revealing things that they're not interested in knowing. So those are just some ideas and some thoughts of mine that I have on this topic that I thought it was really important to share. I hope they've been really useful to you and beneficial. If you have any questions or comments or there's anything you want to know, please do let me know. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a beautiful day.